Recently, I reviewed Jabra's Elite 85T and crowned them the best overall ANC earbuds. But today we'll be checking out a company that claimed to have the world's most effective noise-cancelling earbuds, and having tested them thoroughly, I'm actually inclined to believe them. I'm talking about Bose's QuietComfort earbuds, which I'll actually be reviewing in full in today's video. But I'll also be comparing them to the Bose Sport earbuds, the cheaper option in the Bose lineup, and we'll be exploring exactly what's different between the two and how they stack up against the competition. Let's take a look. As you'd expect from Bose, the earbuds are packaged really nicely, and the unboxing experience is essentially the same for both earbuds. We start off with the charging cases and the earbuds themselves. We then have the usual paperwork, a short USB-C charging cable, and finally smaller and larger pairs of the Stay Here wingtips. The charging cases feel sturdy and well built, and the matte texture helps to keep fingerprints at bay. The USB-C charging port is found at the rear, and they both have a 5 LED battery indicator at the front, next to the lid release button. Most earbuds go for a magnetic lid, whereas these cases snap shut with a loud click, so they're perhaps not as easy to open as some other cases, but they will keep the earbuds very secure in case you drop them. You've probably noticed that these are pretty large as far as charging cases go, and the QuietComfort case especially is not going to be the most comfortable inside your pocket. Next to the AirPods Pro case here, this should give you some context as to just how big these cases are. I have here the Soapstone Finish QC earbuds and the Glacier White Sport earbuds, two of the more unique colours on the market, but there are black versions available for both and a vibrant blue finish for the Sport earbuds. The earbuds are held in the cases by magnets, and because of their larger size, are actually really easy to take from and place back in the case. Like the cases, the earbuds are pretty large, especially the QC earbuds, which are some of the largest on the market right now. They're both made of plastic, but the build quality is really good here, and I'd expect they'd both hold up well to accidental drops. They have a two-tone finish, but the QC earbuds do look a little more premium with this metallic-like coating, compared to the flatter matte grey on the Sport earbuds. You'll notice more vents and microphones on the QC earbuds, which are used for the noise cancelling feature, and both of these use the same Stay Here wingtips, which form a single piece of soft silicone with the ear tip, similar to what we saw with the Bose Sleep Buds earlier in the year. Despite their large size, I found it pretty easy to get these secured in my ears, and they stayed in place surprisingly well once I found the perfect combination of wingtips. I could comfortably wear both of these for hours on end, and oddly, I found the larger QC earbuds the more comfortable of the two. I think for comfort, it helps that the bulk of the earbud hangs outside of the ear, but there's no doubt that neither of these earbuds are very discreet if that's important to you. The Sport earbuds had a greater contact area with my ears and so gripped more tightly, so I trust these to stay in my ears more, but they just weren't quite as comfortable for long-term use. I think the shape of the ear tips helps with comfort because they don't feel like they're plugging your ears or cause that cabin pressure-like sensation, and it never feels like there's a risk of pushing them in too far. It does mean that the passive noise isolation isn't amazing, so they both let in some of the outside noise, which I know some people actually prefer. The QC earbuds of course have noise cancelling to help deal with this, which I'll come onto later, but it really depends on how well these fit you as to how good the isolation will be. The fit all comes down to your ear shape and the wingtips you use, and since these are replaced really easily, you should spend some time experimenting with the different sizes to see what fits your ears best. They both stayed in my ears fine during a workout, and as I said, the Sport earbuds felt a bit more secure. But I still wouldn't trust these out on a run, because although they don't feel especially heavy, I think my foot hitting the ground could eventually shake them loose. They are fully protected against sweat and light splashes though, with IPX4 water resistance ratings. I think the Sport earbuds should really have a higher rating here. Apart from their smaller size, there's no significant spec or feature that makes them any better for sports than the QC earbuds, and I think Bose missed a chance to really capitalise on making these a dedicated sports earbud. There are no physical controls here, and the earbuds instead use a single touchpad on either side. Most functions are mapped to the right master earbud, but the touch surface area is both large and very sensitive to even light taps. Strangely, the left side on the Sport earbuds didn't seem nearly as responsive, and did give me a few problems. My main issue with the controls though is just that they're very limited, and there's not a lot of scope with customization either. In the Bose Music app, you can add what Bose calls a shortcut to the left earbud, a tap and hold for the QC earbuds, and a double tap for the Sport earbuds, but this can only be either a battery level prompt or skipping the track forward. You can also turn on a volume control feature, which is adjusted by swiping up and down on the touchpad. It's nice that you can add extra functionality to the earbuds, but I found the volume could often jump up in multiple increments at a time, and you could suddenly have your music blaring out by mistake, plus the fact that you risk knocking the earbud loose with the swipe gesture. So I can see why this is turned off by default, and I ended up turning it off again myself. And finally, there's an auto pause feature here when you take an earbud out, and auto play when you put it back, which works on both sides for the QC earbuds, but sadly only the right side for the Sport earbuds. As you take a QC earbud out, transparency mode turns on for the one you're still using, like with AirPods Pro, which is pretty cool. The Sport earbuds don't have transparency mode, so the controls are obviously more limited. You do have some customization over the auto pause, for example, adding an option to automatically answer phone calls when you put an earbud in, but otherwise, the Bose Music app offers very little in terms of features or customization. The interface looks good and is intuitive to use. I like that you can read tips on using the earbuds, that you can set them to automatically install new updates, and that you can turn off voice prompts, which some people find annoying. I also like this Sources tab, which shows you a list of previously connected devices and makes it a lot easier to switch between them using the app, as opposed to navigating your phone's Bluetooth menu. Unfortunately, neither of these earbuds has multi-point, so you can't be connected to two devices at the same time, which is a feature a lot of people love and may even be a deal breaker. It's a real shame because this interface would be perfect for a multi-point compatible earbud, and the voice prompts even tell you which device is connected when you take them out of the case, which again would be ideal for a multi-point setup, letting you know which of your devices are currently connected. It just stands out as a notable missing feature for earbuds at this price, especially for the QuietComfort earbuds. If you own multiple Bose products, the Music app is great for monitoring battery levels and checking their charging status, but if you just have the Bose Sport earbuds, that's pretty much all that's on offer here in this app. So after you've set your preferences, you could easily delete the app or even forego using it in the first place with very little impact on your overall experience. The standout missing feature here though is a custom EQ, which I personally consider to be a basic necessity for a companion app. Bose could add this to the app in the future, but the earbuds have been out for some time now and we still don't have one, so I'm not optimistic. The QuietComfort earbuds do have a few extra features though, which make the app worthwhile. The first is self-voice, where you can customize how much of your own voice you can hear during a phone call, which I find is a really handy feature. I'm not sure why Bose couldn't add this to the Sport earbuds as well, so for now, this is a nice exclusive benefit of the QC earbuds. You've then got this Favorites tab, where you can customize 3 different levels of noise cancelling to quickly cycle between with a double tap on the left earbud. It's fast and responsive to change the ANC mode, and there's a very obvious change in how much of the outside noise the earbuds are letting in. This ties in with the noise cancelling slider, which is the best tech demo for ANC working I've ever seen with a pair of headphones or earbuds, because you can very clearly hear the noise cancelling increasing as you drag the slider up towards the maximum. With a lot of ANC earbuds, you either don't have control over the noise cancelling level, or it's unclear how exactly the changes affect the ANC performance. But here, it's a very clear and precise change from 0, which is transparency mode, all the way up to the maximum noise cancelling at level 10. So let's talk about noise cancelling, because Bose are claiming this to be the world's most effective in a pair of earbuds. As I said, you have a lot of control over the level of noise cancelling, which is a good start, but I must say that the maximum level of noise cancelling really is the best I've come across so far, beating the likes of Jabra's 85T, Apple's AirPods Pro, and Sony's WF-1000X M3. Too often, there's only a subtle change when you turn on ANC, and earbuds often rely on the ear tip passively blocking out sound by sealing up your ear. I already mentioned how the Bose earbuds don't completely plug your ear canals, which goes to show just how powerful the active noise cancelling technology really is. As you probably guessed, this means that the QuietComfort earbuds do a much better job of blocking out the outside noise than the Sport earbuds, which don't have ANC and only slightly reduce the outside noise passively. But with the Bose QC earbuds, there's a drastic reduction in the outside noise, and sounds like traffic, wind noise, and even higher frequencies like crowd noise are all much quieter with ANC turned on. It's interesting that Sony leads the way with ANC when it comes to headphones, but with true wireless earbuds, Bose are giving us exemplary ANC, and this is the best noise cancelling you'll find in a pair of earbuds right now. I also want to mention that the transparency mode is really great too, and although there's a faint audible hiss, the outside noise sounds very natural, and almost as though you aren't wearing the earbuds at all. The noise cancelling feature ties into the phone call quality as well, because with the QC earbuds, it's much easier to hear the caller compared to the Sport earbuds thanks to the noise cancelling. My voice was isolated better from sounds like traffic noise, and it's easier to hear yourself as well because of the self-voice feature. But I also found that the actual quality of my voice was clearer with these earbuds too. Switching over to the Sport earbuds now, you might be able to hear that there's less treble in my voice, and it just doesn't sound quite as clear as it does with the QC earbuds. I still thought these were pretty good for phone calls, and it's not as though these are bad. They're just not as good as the QCs. And finally, switching back again to the QuietComfort earbuds, hopefully you can hear the change and the improvement in the mic quality. So with ANC, self-voice and better quality mics, the QC earbuds are just better all round for phone calls. Not only are the mics located in the right earbud, but you can also only use the right side on its own when you're listening with just one earbud, which is something I wish we weren't still seeing in 2021. Connectivity in general is pretty good though. The earbuds use Bluetooth 5.1, and I had no issues at all with connection stability or range from my phone. The one thing that was slightly annoying is that the earbuds sometimes wouldn't auto-reconnect to the last paired device, and I'd have to prompt the connection in my Bluetooth settings. This didn't happen every time, but I'd be interested to know if you experienced this too. Thankfully, there was no latency, so you can watch movies without any lip-syncing issues on both iOS and Android. But unfortunately, you're limited to just the SBC and AAC codecs, which is fine for iPhone users, but it's a shame that there's no aptX here for Android users, especially in the expensive QuietComfort earbuds. Battery life is fairly limited too, and perhaps the weakest aspect of these earbuds. The QC earbuds give 6 hours per charge, and the Sport earbuds give just 5, but the cases hold only 2 extra charges. I think with charging cases of this size, you'd expect a bigger battery reserve, but even the single charge playback is relatively low compared to the 10+ hours some earbuds are now giving us. One benefit to the QC earbuds is that the case supports wireless charging, whereas the Sport earbuds are USB-C charging only. A fast charge of 15 minutes will give you 2 hours of playback, and the full charge time using the cable is around 2 hours for both earbuds. So battery and charging is a little bit better for the QCs compared to the Sport earbuds. And the final thing to discuss is of course audio quality, which is good for these earbuds, but not something that's going to blow you away. I'll start with the Bose Sport earbuds, which have a fairly flat and balanced sound profile. The sound is really pleasant and free from any harsh and piercing sibilants, but at the same time, it's also missing detail and those crisp highs that help songs to really shine. The bass is also definitely lacking here. There's enough so that your music doesn't seem thin, but it's missing that thump that a lot of other earbuds will give you. Now, the QuietComfort earbuds build on this, but do sound a lot better. So first of all, there's a more weighty low end, which really helps, but I'd still say that bass heads will be disappointed, and it could still do with some kick. But more noticeable is an increase in the treble, so there's more detail here to give a more dynamic sound profile. The audio just seems a bit cleaner, and there's more depth and separation, but I'd still class this as a reasonably neutral sound signature, and it's missing the deep bass and sparkling highs of the market leaders. Vocals sound great though, and they really stand out here. But if you've listened to earbuds like Soundcore's Liberty 2 Pro or Sennheiser's Momentum 2, you'll notice that the soundstage and detail isn't up to that high standard. Just as a quick side note, these aren't especially loud, but I still think max volume would be too loud for most people. I was listening at around 70% volume on the QC earbuds and 80% on the Sport earbuds, compared to my usual 60, so that's something for those concerned about the volume to consider. One big issue for me is that there's no custom equalizer, so you're stuck with how Bose has tuned these earbuds unless you use a third-party application to tweak the audio. Bose instead has their active EQ, which adjusts depending on the environment to optimize the audio, for example ensuring that the bass doesn't completely disappear when listening at low volumes. This does seem to work pretty well at maintaining consistency, and I feel like this is a feature that's doing more than you realize, so if you took it away, you'd notice it was gone. But in my opinion, it's no match for a custom EQ, and letting the user fine-tune the sound to their preference, which I think would have enabled me to write a more flattering review of the audio quality. It's good, and most people won't be disappointed. It's just that there are plenty of other earbuds now with better audio quality, if that's your priority. So how do these stack up against the competition? Well, the Sport earbuds are retailing at $179, but the QuietComfort earbuds are selling for $279, making these some of the most expensive earbuds on the market. So you can probably already guess what I'm going to say about these. They're great earbuds, but I don't think they justify buying unless you find them at a significant discount. But it's actually the Sport earbuds that, despite their cheaper starting price, I think are even harder to justify. Beyond the wingtips, there's nothing really significant to make these great for sports, and with the number of features missing at this price, there are plenty of smaller, more durable, more sports-focused, and frankly better value options out there. The QuietComfort earbuds add in a lot of those missing features, specifically noise cancelling and transparency, but also things like wireless charging and better sound quality. Still, the feature set is fairly limited compared to what other earbuds are offering, and the lack of aptX, multipoint, and especially an in-app equalizer are going to be tough to stomach, especially at this price. It's not that they're bad earbuds, it's just that cheaper earbuds have now surpassed these for features, battery life, and audio quality, and I think you deserve a bit more from the Bose earbuds when you're paying this much money for them. The main selling point is that awesome noise cancellation, and if that's your main priority, then you won't find anything better right now. They claim to have the world's most effective noise cancelling in a pair of earbuds, and I think they've achieved it. But as an all-round earbud, with everything else considered, it's much harder to recommend these. But let me know what you think about these earbuds. Would you pay $279 for the best noise cancelling, or do you own a pair already and think they're worth the price? If you found this video helpful, then please consider giving it a like, and make sure you're subscribed to see more content like this one. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.